Cliff just took Trek to the store to run a few errands, so I have like a little bit of time before. So I wanted to go over some stuff on branding. I'm actually recording this so that I can use it in the future for coaches that need a video on branding, their own personal brand. I know we talked about some stuff last week that should be helpful as far as what Melissa McAllister shared on your being a radio, that type of thing. But I was just gonna do this video so that we have it for the training, and I thought it would be great just to make that right. So these are some things. I'm gonna give you questions to go over different things. I remember something that really helped me with my own as far as personal brand is hearing Raina Odell, who's a top coach, say, "You're not Beachbody, and you are your own personal brand. You're your own person." What you give to people, the value, the experience, the knowledge, your history, even in that, is different than what another coach, can bring to the table. And when we try to be like every other coach, then you lose the flavor, right? So I kind of wanted to just go into, if I freeze, just let me know. Go into different ways on branding. So I saw this quote earlier today that it was not on, coaching, it's just on branding in general, but more about you is universal than not universal. And basically that 95% of you is like everybody else, but there's that 5% of you that's different. And we can look at that as discouraging, or we can look at that as in, well, what's my 5%? Let's dig into that. I heard, and I don't know what call it was on, what training it was on, but I remember hearing, and this helped me too with branding, somebody talk about how your brand is just like your car, right? Everybody has a body, everybody's like a coach, right? We're all the same, right? If you're a car, but there's something different about each brand of the car, right? Each design, each model, there's something different and unique and special, depending on what kind of car it is. It's the same thing with you as a coach. There's something that makes you different. It could be you're quirky, you're weird. I know that's a big thing. It could be, just your habits or, hobbies, your past, what you've overcome, like anything like that is part of your brand. Laura shares about being a single mom. That's part of her brand. Like, she wants to become someone that is an inspiration to single moms and showing them that they can overcome and make it and helping them in their business. And so that's a part of her, right? I know that I honestly, when I got into coaching, because a big part of my brand is endurance sports, right? Triathlon, because of my USA Triathlon certification history. But I honestly, when I became a coach, I tried to mold into what the other coaches that I saw were doing. So I didn't even share that I was like a 3-time Ironman, 7-time marathoner. I didn't share that stuff. I didn't share that I coached triathletes. I didn't share my history. I didn't share little quirks about me. Like, I used to run my age in miles for my birthday every single year until I hit 30. And then I was like, you know what I mean? Or 31. Like, I didn't share things about what I loved about endurance sports because I thought that's not the coaching. That's not a typical coach. Now, we have a lot of coaches, obviously, especially with Ironman, performance supplements that are in endurance sports, but that is also, that is a part of my brand too, is, runners and triathletes. And I tried to mold into the typical mom Beachbody coach, and I wasn't even a mom then. You know what I mean? Like, I tried to mold myself to look like these other coaches that I was following, and finally got to a point where I unfollowed a ton of coaches that I was following so that I could just put my blinders on and say, okay, who am I? And answer some questions I'm going to bring you to. Like, who is my brand, right? Or what is my brand? So here, I'm gonna have like a ton of questions on here, and I can always post them when I post the recording, but definitely write this down if you can. So basically we want to figure out, so if we're 95%, like, if we're like 95% of the rest of Beachbody coaches, what is the 5% that makes you different? Okay. And that's what we're going to dig into to find. So a couple of different things. Why do you coach? What's your reason for pushing yourself through on hard days with coaching, getting out of bed in the morning, to get the workout in, whatever it is. What is your why? Which we say that in a lot of the the trainings. What do you hope your work as a coach will accomplish? And Josh Coates is great on this. He talks about having a mission. So I highly recommend that you put together a mission statement for your brand too. And that kind of goes in with that. What value do you bring to any group or client? You personally. It's not Beachbody. You're different from Beachbody. So we have great programs. We have great supplements. We have so much to offer, but there's something about you that's different. What value do you promise to deliver? And I saw this quote somewhere. It said, remember that a brand is a promise, and your personal brand is your personal promise to deliver a specific value. And I just really like that your brand is a promise to give something to somebody, to deliver that, to those that transformation, that support, whatever it is that you're putting in there. All right, so moving on, more questions. So I know I'm not giving you a ton of time to answer them, and we can kind of go through this after I go through them too. There's more at the end that I'll actually ask you guys. So what are 2 or 3 traits or ways of thinking or doing things that make you the coach that you are? Do those traits combine in a way that might make you different? Some, maybe it's more in line with the type of people that you're talking to as well, How do you want to present yourself professionally? I love that one. Obviously, nobody's perfect, and it's not like we want to have this cookie cutter brand. But remember, your business, it's your business. Coaching is your business. So how are you putting yourself out there with your business? And it's everybody that's on this call right now they're serious about their business. And I know that because I've talked with each one of you, and you want to do well with coaching and to do great things with coaching. And so I think it's important to remember that that it is a business. Yes, we have to take care of ourselves. That's the 3 vitals, right? Which I love. We're most important. Our workouts, our mindset. Lord, thank you for that one. And our nutrition, like, it's so important that we take care of ourselves. But remember also, what you put out there as a business, is your business too. That's your brand. That's your storefront, right? How do you want people to perceive you? What do you want them to think about you? Do you want them to think that you show up and you're consistent and that you'll be there for them too? Probably. How can you express qualities that might make you different? What are some things? What can you put out there? I know that was something that Melissa McAllister, I shared on her talk last week. How do you share those things that are going to make you different? And we all have so many different, things honestly. All right, so what's the takeaway overall? What is the one key fact, point, or idea that you want people to associate with you or remember about you? You're the coach who, what? I know a big part of my brand is I'm not afraid to put myself out there. And that means being goofy as well, right? My quirkiness. When I see 2 years ago Facebook memories when I'm dancing with my pregnant belly over and over, it's like a everyday occurrence popping up in my memories. I'm just like, oh my God. But that's just part of who I am. Like, I didn't care. You know what I mean? It's like, I know it would entertain people. People connect with me. It was funny. And that's just who I am. That's just who I am. You know, I mean, I make fun of myself because I can't dance. Laura's seen me in her dance classes. So it's just, that's just, she'll be like, you're making up your own moves. I'm like, no, I'm trying yours. So, so that's just who I am. And I own it. I own it that I can't dance, that I'm quirky, you know what I mean? But I also own that I can be a badass, that I've done some crazy things, you know, as far as, you know, who rides a hybrid bike in 3 states and over 150 miles without an extra air tire. You know what I mean? Like, not all there sometimes, but you know what I mean? I've done some things that I'm like, I understand that, and I share those things. I know that running is an outlet for me. It helps me feel better. I need to do it or else I go crazy. So I share those things. I love bread and I love pasta. I'm Italian and I share that. I share about all of how I love food. I also share how I love peanut butter. That was a big thing. When I first started coaching, I shared about peanut butter almost all the time, y'all. I used to get people message me stuff on peanut butter. And now I'm kind of more on bread. But but that's just a part of who I that's just, you know, who I am. Just different quirky things. So it doesn't have to be something, my point is it doesn't have to be something grand, like, oh yeah, I'm a USA triathlon coach, 3-time Ironman, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm the quirky coach who dances with her pregnant belly and will inhale peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things, like, it's not the same sweaty selfie. It's not the same. It's just something different. And we all have that about us, right? It's just the way it is. Okay, so after you've answered all those questions that I gave you, write your either like mission statement, or you can put like an about me, a bio, anything that's going to kind of help you like pinpoint what is it that makes you different. And then write one for a general coach. Look at yours and then write one for a general coach, and I want you to look at them. Okay? And this is something that really helps me. Or you could, what I did before, sorry, I probably said it backwards. I wrote one for a general coach of who I thought would be a great coach, but anybody. And then I made my own. Yeah, do it that way. I think that's what I did. And then you take out some of the things that are just generic, you know? Then once you do that, I got another thing. List 10 things that you believe are critical to great coaching. What makes a great, amazing coach? Write 10 things. And then get rid of 7 of them. Like, get rid of the things that are generic, like responsible, 6-pack abs, maybe. That's one of them. I don't know. I don't know. Some of those things. Like, get rid of the generic stuff. And then take the there. Then take the 3 that are most personal to you. And that's your brand. So it's a lot of questions, a lot of things to work through. It takes time on that. But it's going to help you, I think, to remember that you're not Beachbody. You have your own brand. And this is something that really, really helped me. Chalene Johnson, I went to her Marketing Impact Academy and in California. And she said, when you make your like page, when you make a website, when you do whatever you do, your name on something, remember that 5-10 years from now, you might have like changed in different things, right? You don't know how life is going to change, your likes, your dislikes, things like that. So she always recommends putting your name on stuff instead of like an actual, tag or, something like that. So that's why I have my name on our pages. Although unfortunately, my name's changed quite a bit too, divorce. But actually, I told Cliff, this is totally going off on a rabbit hole, but like, I haven't legally changed it. I never legally changed it. I've always been a shaller. So I'm like, it's just been, my like page has been changing though. So yeah, so try to keep it the same if you can. And put your brand out there, because here's the thing right now, like, you're using Beachbody with your platform, right? And ideally you will use it always, right? And continue to grow and have that. I hear my son screaming. But remember that you don't know how Beachbody is going to evolve, right? So just like we have more of nutrition programming, you know what I mean? Instead, you don't want to just have a nutrition page. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just have a fitness page. There's so much that they are doing to like keep up with everything. I mean, now we're online. Like, you didn't want to have you know what I mean? A page that was just about, I don't know, like your DVD type stuff. You know what I mean? Like, now everything's evolving and changing. So just keep that in mind, that you be true to you and who you are and who your brand, is, instead of who Beachbody is. And then if you just follow that and you put it in line, then you're going to have something forever. And that's something truly I've followed. Once I heard that, it really, really helped me a lot. So whenever I post, I don't post a lot of Beachbody stuff. I know I share that with you guys. I post about things Beachbody related, but I don't do, and everyone's different. Shay's, a lot different than me on this. But I don't say that I'm doing Lift 4. I say I'm doing strength programming with HIIT and core work. I want people to ask me. I want them to come to me. I want to share, and everyone's different. It's totally cool. You do your thing. But that's how I know that, that I get people curious more when I leave it something for them to seek me on. Because if I leave it all out there and I put it all Beachbody, then it's not me. Does that help? And that is a talk I heard a lot of those points from Raina Odell, who talked at Josh Coates' seminar last year, the leadership thing. And she has what's her Instagram? I think it's Raina vs. Food. I think that's what it is. She used to not even share anything Beachbody. Now she does now. And I'm not saying not to do that. I think it's, you do your own thing, whatever you feel like good about. I think, but just for me, I know my brand is more wanting to promote myself and what I can offer people. Because we're more than a program. Yeah, they can go on Amazon, but they're not getting you. And there's so much as a coach. Like, that is a coach is a missing piece in everything. And that's why Beachbody has coaches, So, all right. Do you guys have any questions on any of that stuff, or do you want to go over any of the questions?
All right. What's your mission statement?
Oh, now I gotta look it up. I should know this by heart, right? It's about empowering women, but can't tell you off the top of my head. I say, my mission is to inspire and teach women how to be fully alive by giving them the tools and knowledge to reach their greatest potential.
Nice. Okay.
For me, I really feel like. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Oh no. No, the 10 critical things are kind of hard to come up with.
Yeah, it'll take time too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think that for me, a big part of my mission statement was I felt stuck for so long. And Beachbody has allowed me to be unstuck. It's allowed me to do more beyond what was in a gym or what I felt like I was restricted to as a trainer, because I couldn't do nutrition. I was working for other people. I just felt stuck. And so Beachbody has allowed me to realize that I can do more, and that I can be a business owner, and that I can help other people in other ways. And for me, that was really freeing. And so that's a part of my mission statement, is that, like, when you empower someone to get through their fitness, you know what I mean, that they see they can do so much more too. I mean, we see that with people that do running or anything like that. Hi, you want to come to mommy? Come here. Come here.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So along the lines of what we're talking about, I listened to a podcast today. I was kind of feeling down and, just needed to kind of fill my cup. And Rachel Hollis has a podcast. It's called Rise. Okay.
What is it called? Rise?
Rise.
Rise. Okay.
R-I-Z-R-R-I-S. Oh, I can't even, I'm not functioning this week. So it's called Rise, the Rise podcast. And she talks to people like I think she's talked to Lewis Howes, but she talks to other women entrepreneurs. And she spoke with Jasmine Star, and it was a podcast about having the audacity to go for your dreams. Mm. And so if you guys can look it up and go and check out that podcast, I'll see if I can copy it and paste it in the comments when you post the recording here. But they're talking about branding as well, and little things that I didn't really ever think about as far as branding goes. So I took like a couple tiny little pages of notes at work, which I wasn't really supposed to, but I did. So like, I cheated. I was taking notes while I was working. So, but it's really good, and it kind of little bit of a fire under me, which is what I was kind of needing. So
cool. Yeah. I'll put that out for sure. I love her.
Me too.
Yeah, and just remember, like, everyone's different on stuff. You're different, than the things I shared on myself.
So since you've been in this longer, what do you promise to deliver? Have you seen, for instance, people sign up with other coaches and there's not follow through, and you receive those clients? I mean, what have you heard with this, what you promise to deliver? Like, what in your experience?
Well, my groups are always consistent. Mm-hmm. Sometimes and you guys have probably seen this, sometimes it'll be like, usually we have a post at 5 a.m., 4 a.m., but there's a post every day. And I never go MIA on my posts in my groups. I'm always there. And so that's my big thing, is like, I'm there. And I know there have been a lot of times, oh, mommy doesn't want to eat that. There's been a lot of times when I get behind on emails, for sure, but my group's always there. I'm always showing up. You know what I mean? So I think that's my biggest thing, is that I'm not going to quit on anybody. I'm going to be there. And that's what I promised. I'm like, hey, if you're going to give in, if you're going to show up and you're going to do the work, like, I can promise you, like, I'll be there and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. And that's because, everyone's different. You know that yourself. Like, everyone's different. We all will have different things. And I remember talking with you and thinking, there's different, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's see what works for you.
Right.
Whether it's the time nutrition or, just kind of figuring it out. What, Baba? What do you want?
Okay.
So I think that's the biggest thing, is when they know you're there, they know you're there, they know you care. That's what I put so much, and maybe it's part of my personality, I don't know, but I get so wrapped up in every single person. I'll lay in bed
Right.
about it. And so, so I always promise to deliver consistency, always be there, and I just won't give up on people unless they give up, on themselves. But that's my big thing.
Right.
I don't know if that helps at all.
No, it does. I guess
You see a lot of coaches.
I'm so glad to be in a group.
Yeah. There are a lot of coaches.
That's one of the things that I worry about.
Yeah. I tell you what, there are 400,000 Beachbody coaches? And I've talked to so many people, when they come to me and say, hey, I want to switch coaches, I'm always like, hey, first go talk to your coach, because I'm not going to be that person, But there are so many coaches that aren't consistent. Well, my coach doesn't run groups. That's what they say. My coach doesn't help me. My coach doesn't answer. My coach doesn't do, you know what I mean? So, hey, Baba, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
Want this? So I honestly really feel like that consistency, just showing people every day that you're there, is something that's different than an average 95% of Beachbody coaches. As sad as that is, I really feel like that's true. Because we see so many people who are flaky.
Right.
Mommy doesn't want that, Baba. Want this? Want raisin? I don't know. Is that too, I don't know if that's too.
No, I think that's true. And I know I've
No.
input, I'm trying to get all the other stuff in the background going.
No.
So I'm trying to make sure.
I think your definition of flaky is different than my definition of flaky. I'm talking about people who have customers who sign up and who say, I'm going to help you with the program, and go MIA on them. You know what I'm saying? Who don't have groups.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Laura, we've talked to so many people who have had that happen, right? Because we've both been coaches for about the same time. I know, you can't eat that. So there's you want to eat raisins? He needs to go to sleep. He's got a little cold. He's got a runny nose. Oh, okay. He wants me to eat M&Ms, you guys. This is my child. Thank you. He's got this trail mix, so he digs the raisins out, but then he gives me the M&Ms. So yeah, I think that that's what I mean by flaky, is people trying to get a hold of their coaches who are gone. You know what I'm saying? That is legit. So I don't mean by oh my God, I missed a workout today. Or, you know what I mean? Or I've gone a couple days and I'm out of it on things. Now, when you're running a group, you show up every single day to that group with a post. Right. Never let them see that, even there have been times when I've been oh my gosh, it's 7:00 or whatever. Hurry up and get a post up, because I didn't get it scheduled in time. Or we scheduled it and it auto schedules to 9 a.m. Do you guys see that in the challenge tracker? So it's oops. So you have to go back, because you're it's going to post at 9. But so that's happened multiple times, but we're always even Cliff knows, oh, I'm texting him at 4:30 a.m. Hey, we got that post up, right? That's good. I get obsessive even 4 years later now about it, because I think it's so important to show up.
Right. Right.
Sorry, I don't know if that went off.
Because I don't.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I think
sorry.
One thing that would be nice eventually, and I could do this with Tiffany as we're working, but sometimes when you have one of your questions, how do you want other people to perceive you, sometimes how you put yourself out there and what other people pick up can be very different, especially with social media and not talking, but just reading.
Oh yeah. for
So,
sure.
I think it might be interesting to like kind of get feedback.
Yeah.
You know, like take a snapshot of each other's pages and be like, here's what and like critically,
Those are fun to do.
like kindly, not.
Yeah, we've done social media audits, as we call them, social media audits before. Those are fun.
Okay.
Those are fun to do, you know, to like go over it. But I tell you what, me and Shay, you want this? Shay and I will consistently say, hey, go look at my page. Go scroll through and tell me what I need to do. So do that as success partners.
Right.
Hey, you want this? As success partners, you hold each other accountable on that too, you know, and just to say, hey, scroll through my page. What do I need? And it's just as simple, like we just scroll through and we'll be like, hey, you don't have any food pictures up, which I know that's like my total weakness. I'm not good at showing nutrition stuff, but that's not really, like I talk about food, but I don't show myself with like pasta in my mouth. But usually it's no time to take a picture when you have a kid who's but you know, so that's what she'll be like, hey, you don't have any nutrition pictures up. You don't have any food pics up. So I'm like, oh, like that's a thing. Or you don't have one thing she'll say is like, hey, you don't have an invite. I don't even know you're a coach. What are you offering? I don't see it. And that's where I'm like, oh crap, like I have to put that out there, you know, because I miss it. You want people to know that, yeah, you do have something to offer. So
okay.
I think those are really helpful. Do those with each other.
Right.
For sure. And we can post in the thread if anybody wants to like say, hey, can everyone go check out my page and give feedback? You know.
Right. So I guess I have one more question. You talk about branding, and I know people put their names on stuff and everything, but I mean, I've seen in the long run that people with, you know, side names do successful, especially if they're easy to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And they can be, but just remember your brand's going to evolve and change, you know? So,
right.
So like, you know, it could be Tiffany, what's your name on your Facebook?
Shape Up for Life.
Okay. Well, that's not going to change because it has your name on it. So, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. But let's say if you were very like specific on hiking, you know what I'm saying? That could change to where, because you do a lot of hiking and camping, like that could change to where in 5 years it's more run specific and, you know what I mean, something else geared towards. So I would just not be very specific on that. Oh, what's that? Oh, in that sense. Chalene Johnson always recommends doing your name on everything because she's like, your name is you. People are going to remember you no matter like how you evolve and change on stuff. But yeah, I mean, I feel like people know me better with my name than if I were to come up with something else. I don't know.
Yeah. I get it. It's just with occupations, it can be tricky.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. And you could totally.
And I have a very distinct last name.
Yeah. Hey girl. Oh, as far as like your name. Yeah. There were some top coaches. And I don't remember who they were. It might've been, I don't remember who actually like recently changed their name to their actual name. But for so long, it was something like catchy or something. Like, I think, I don't even know before I say her name. But yeah, there was, well, Raina Odell used to do that. So her Instagram is still Raina vs. Food, but she used to have that on her name too, like her actual name on there. I don't know. There's different ones, but I know mine's like totally generic. Huh?
It's just tricky because sometimes you just don't want the school board being like, hey, what you doing?
Yeah. I know. That would
Good
be
stuff. So, okay. Well, I mean, I'll definitely think about this. I appreciate these meetings. They really help.
Yeah, for sure. And let me stop